Welcome to a very chilly San Antonio tonight here at NordVPN Stadium, where the first Monday Night Spectacular gets underway. It's Alamo City and Fort Worth in a South Division showdown. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, ready for tonight's ball game. Charles, this one, if it's anything like Week 14, may be one of the best games of the year.
Yeah, and I got to say at the top here, it's great being back in the booth with you. And the SFL really knew what they were doing when they picked this Monday night matchup. I mean, we've got two of the best teams last season, division rivals, meeting head-to-head. I think it's going to be a battle.
Fort Worth is in their all-white road uniforms. Alamo City's got the blue helmets and the blue jerseys tonight. Both teams like to rock some sort of combination of blues and goldish yellows. Alamo City will get the ball to start things off tonight. 28 degrees, cloudy skies, a little bit of wintry mix today in San Antonio, but not a lot. The field is clear, but it is rock solid. Fort Worth's got the ball on the tee. That's Amelia Rose, and the hand in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are underway on this Monday Night Spectacular. From the goal line, on the return for Alamo City, it's Ziggy Ronick out past the 25 to the 32-yard line, and that is where the Alamo City offense will start with the 8-season veteran, Ace Fennick.
Yeah, as I said at the beginning, this is going to be a battle. I mean, both of these teams are loaded top to bottom. I think what's going to set the team apart that wins this game is going to be how they fight in the trenches, who comes out on ahead, and also making mistakes, making the opponent make mistakes and capitalizing on with points. So that's my prediction, but I think this is going to go back to the last second.
Alamo City tonight is a 2.5-point favorite at home, and the over-under is set at 51.5 by our great friends at Jack's Data. 1st and 10 for Alamo City with 3 receivers and a back to start. The handoff goes to Brad Jones up the middle, and he'll pick up a couple. Let's meet that Alamo City artillery offense led by Fennick and Jones in the backfield, along with Rainstorm at running back. Wide receivers, Kenny Hendricks, Ziggy Ronick, Yale Montana, and the incoming Vin Calia in his 9th SFL season, formerly of Minnesota. Tight ends are Garrison Blue and Hank Earl Troll. Will get to the offensive line momentarily. 2nd down and 8. Ace Fennick drops to throw, and Fennick will connect outside with Garrison Blue, but he is quickly ushered out of bounds by Sonny Sky. 3rd and 8 coming up.
Ace is not going to have a lot of time in that pocket. I mean, he's going up against Jeff Duffy and Gond on the defensive end side of Fort Worth, and they are monsters. I mean, if they're not the best tandem of defensive ends in the league, I don't know who is.
Let us know if our audio levels are sounding okay on your end, folks at home. 3rd down and 8. Play fake for Fennick. Fennick's got all kinds of time, and that pass is caught. 1st down, it's Vin Calia with his first catch in the blue and yellow, and Alamo City's got their first 3rd down conversion of the evening.
Yeah, on this play, Ace had plenty of time in the pocket. The offensive line gave him just enough time to go through his progressions and find Calia there on a nice route and a nice delivery from Ace.
24-22 was the final score last time, as Fort Worth stopped the artillery on a 2-point conversion. That was Rainstorm trying to run it in. We'll see what is in store for us tonight, but I can't imagine this game is going to be a letdown as Jones picks up a few more on 2nd down. Charles, did you happen to catch that game live last season? What was your thoughts about Fort Worth completing that undefeated season?
I mean, I think pretty much every one of Fort Worth's game. I mean, they were battling last season. They rarely make mistakes. They're coached really, really well. I mean, I think both teams have awesome coaches.
Fennick takes off and runs and gets half of what he needs. Slides down before he takes a hit. So another 3rd down coming up for Alamo City on their 6th play of the drive.
That's the mark of a veteran quarterback there. He knew that the wide receivers were blanketed and just had the wherewithal to get a couple yards and keep the ball moving downfield.
3rd down and 4, 2 minutes into the ball game. Fennick drops to pass. Fennick deep down the field, incomplete, and Fort Worth's terrific secondary helps him get off the field. Pass intended for Calia. Aiden Davis swats it away in his 9th season, made his first SFL All-Star game this past offseason.
Yeah, Ace Fennick threw a little high on that one to Collier deep downfield, but he had to get rid of that ball because the defensive end was closing in fast.
So the punter for Alamo City, Danny Dimes, out there to boot it away and try and pin Fort Worth inside the 10, and it's actually going to be fielded at the goal line. Charlie Baker gets out to the 8. Wow, Baker.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen it either. Gutsy play there by Charlie Baker. Almost paid off as Alamo City was coming in at an angle, but the punter does their job, I guess, for the artillery.
Yeah, and I think that returner is probably going to get a couple colorful words in his ear when he gets to the sidelines.
Maybe because of the wind here in this stadium, maybe he thought the ball was going out at the 1, and he thought, well, maybe I should scoop this up. Don't want to risk it, but ends up not paying off for Fort Worth as they start inside their 10 at the 8-yard line. Their first play, a toss to Jay-Z Bacon, only a pickup of about a half a yard, wrapped up by Bogey Barr. Fort Worth led on offense by Marcus Dunhill in his 4th season with Fort Worth, 10th in the SFL. Three receivers and one back in the backfield. 4-3 defense for Alamo City. Cade Stevens will go in motion. Mike O'Neill on X's and O's talked about watching that slot. Stephen Hacker also on the outside, and that pass is right to him. First down to the 23-yard line. Hacker's first catch of season 22.
Yeah, that's another guy you got to put a man or two on for Fort Worth. I mean, they've got blazing speed across all 4 of their wide receivers, and Hacker at 6'5", I mean, with that type of speed is dangerous.
E.J. Minson was the big acquisition for the Fort Worth Toros this offseason. The number 1 receiver out off of the championship Florida team now comes over as the number 1 receiver in Fort Worth. He's going to be matched up at the bottom of your screen right now in his 9th SFL season. 3 receivers and a single back again there for Dunhill, and he hits Minson for the first time tonight, a pickup of about 3.5. The rest of this offense features Jay-Z Bacon, Charlie Baker in the backfield, a wide receiver to halfback conversion. Aaron Alexander's your fullback. Stevens, Minson, Hacker, and Lili Nakai are your wide receivers in Fort Worth. Robert Garrett Jr. and James Jennings are at tight end. Get to the offensive line in a moment as Bacon is wrapped up. We'll set up a 3rd down and 5. Emilio Panda at tackle, and then Gordo Enorme and Frank Burks inside at guard. Players to watch tonight.
I want to see how aggressive ACA here is on this 3rd down and 5. See if they send an extra person in or are going to put it on their secondary, see if they can get the ball back.
Dunhill sacked. First sack of the game, a loss of 6 yards. And he is wrapped up by Joe Boo McSlim, one of the only 2 additions to this artillery offense. I was stunned, Charles. I saw my face on somebody in the crowd, and it totally distracted me. McSlim with the sack.
I mean, they did it looks like they did a pinch between the 2 tackles, and the offensive line for Fort Worth just was overpowered, and Jabu McSlim just went right into the quarterback. A great play, way to get the ball back for ACA.
So back-to-back punts to start the game for Fort Worth and Alamo City. More defense as that one is fielded at the 44-yard line. Not much room to return there by Kenny Hendricks, who had an electric minor league season with the Nashville Tempo. Was one of, if not their best players. And he comes back to Alamo City rejuvenated. As we get back to the Alamo City starting offense up front, they are talented. At tackle, Jamarcus Candy and David Parker. The guards are Yogi Barr and Charles Michael. The center is Jukin Rukin. 5.5 minutes to go in the first. Second possession for the artillery offense. This is Montana in motion. 5 on the clock. Handoff to Jones. 3rd straight handoff on a first down to Brad Jones. This is most successful. Gets 7 yards. Let's meet the Fort Worth Toros defense. Up front, Jeff Duffy, Jerry D. Gond, Luther Gond, and John Neville. Some of the best defensive linemen this league has to offer. Linebackers are E.K. Vinson, Sonny Sky, and J.L. Browning. Corners, Tavius Gordon, Adam Leach, Remington James, and Aiden Davis. Free safety is Ben Stone, and the strong safety is reigning league MVP, Delaney Nash, your first defensive MVP since Randall Watts of the San Francisco Bulldogs back in season 2, as Rainstorm picks up about half of what they needed. 3rd and 1 coming up. Vincent on the stop.
Yeah, also got some help from free safety Ben Stone, and the way Brad Jones ran on that other play, I thought he was going to be able to power for the first down, but they were able to stop him just short.
Garrison Blue is in the backfield at fullback now. No contracted fullback on Alamo City, so you'll see those tight ends shuffling around. 3rd and short, handoff Brad Jones. He's got the first down to the 44-yard line. So Alamo City gets another 3rd down conversion to their name. That's 3 of them here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't think Brad Jones is going to complain when he sees Garrison Blue or Hank Earl Troll lining up in the backfield as fullback. I mean, they're big guys there at 228, 255, and I think they're going to be able to block.
4:15 to go in the first quarter. Alamo City on the move again for the second straight time into Fort Worth territory, trying to get points. Kalia goes in motion. Nickel look for Fort Worth's defense in the blue helmets and the all-white tonight. Handoff to Rain Storm. Will pick up a couple before he is ushered backwards. There's a look at Coach Luis Gonzalez. 2nd and 8 for Alamo City.
Yeah, it looks like E.K. Vincent was ready for him and just welcomed him into the season 22 game.
High formation with 7 in the box for Fort Worth. And yeah, welcome to the game is right. I think if I got hit like that tonight in this bitter cold, I don't think I'd get up as Brad Jones gets a handful, sets up 3rd and 2.
I'd be waving to the sidelines.
Trader, please.
Thank you, I'm done.
3rd down and 2. 3:25 left here in the first quarter. A scoreless first quarter, and it just feels right. Fort Worth and Alamo City back at it in their 10th meeting. Ace Fennick back to pass. Fennick dumps it off short. That pass is caught. Hank Earl Troll turns the corner and picks up a first down. He got pushed back. Probably would have had the first down with forward progress, but gets it a second time for good measure. That's an Alamo City first down.
It started up front with Yogi Bar, Michael, and Rukin on that line, giving Ace Fennick just enough time to dump the ball off to Hank Earl Troll for the first down. I thought that was going to be a sack, but Ace stood in there and was able to go through the field, go through his progressions, and dump it off to the tight end.
3 completions to 3 different receivers for the Artillery's Ace Fennick so far. Brad Jones, 23 yards on 6 carries. 2:55 to go in the first. And once again, it's Montana going in motion. Fort Worth's been playing quite a bit of zone early. 8 in the box. This is the first pass on first down tonight. Fennick back to throw. That pass is incomplete. Nearly stolen by Ben Stone. Brings up 2nd down.
I mean, Luther, I believe that was Luther Gunn. Go on the, he might have been lined up on the outside. I could be wrong, but whoever that was, he had the afterburners on and was making a beeline to Fennick. I don't know how Fennick stands so cool and calm in the pocket like that.
He really is one of the best, too, at standing cool and calm, collected in the pocket. 2nd down and 10, 2:44 to go in the first quarter. Garrison Blue goes in motion. A lot of motion here early on for the Artillery offense. Hand off to Brad Jones to try and split the difference. Nearly does. 3rd down and 6. So already in this game, this is Alamo City's 5th 3rd down attempt. So look at Fennick coming up to the line. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right. 6 in the box for Fort Worth. Play fake for Fennick. Fennick drops, throws, middle, incomplete as Ben Stone again was there to swat it away. I believe Hendricks was the intended receiver. 4th down, Alamo City have to settle for 3.
I mean, that was a gutsy defensive call by Fort Worth. They lined up a man on that 3rd down play, and every player in the secondary had perfect coverage.
Matt Fennick's sleeves are just unbelievable. This field goal is good as he cuts that from left to right. A 10-play, 31-yard drive results in 3 points for Alamo City, and maybe 28 degrees here tonight, but the fans aren't cold. They're having a party as the Artillery have an early 3-0 lead, and I am overjoyed to be back with you, Charles, because it just feels like old times. It was, 3 SFL headquarters ago that we were partners in the booth, and Yeah, it's just awesome to be back with you. Glad that we could make this all happen.
The only thing missing, Cam, is your dog's head on my foot.
and the head is just as big as it used to be, as
It's like as big as a VW.
Vincent was on that return of the 23-yard line. So both teams kind of feeling each other out in this heavyweight fight, Charles. Haven't seen too much, but we've seen a lot of players get involved already. 5 different players with a catch tonight. Yeah,
I like the chess work both quarterbacks are doing. Again, we said they're veteran quarterbacks, but you're looking at the motion there. They're trying to get a read on whether or not the secondary is in zone or man, and they're just testing it. Almost every play so far has had some sort of motion in it.
1st and 10 at the 23, 2:07 to go in the first quarter. As Cade Stevens goes in motion. We've been talking about it. Mike McBride in the chat. Love hearing Cam and Charles together. Absolutely. Marcus Dunhill's pass is caught. There were 2 players in the same area, Cade Stevens and the Cowboy, Robert Garrett Jr., but somehow, even with pressure barreling down on Dunhill, RG3 makes the catch.
I mean, we've been raving about Ace standing in the pocket, but Dunhill put on a show back there as well. I didn't think he was going to be standing up much longer, but was able to get a decent, from an accuracy standpoint, based on the condition he was in and what he was facing.
RGJ, rather, with that last catch. 2nd down and 1. Dunhill on a quarterback keeper, and he gets about 8 for the first down. He was shuffling around, found a wide open lane. Look at that.
I mean, that he tried to slide. It looked like he flexed his knee a little bit, but then he wouldn't go anywhere.
Ike, we're missing you in the stats truck, but tonight we have Rochelle Colston, Bismarck Wright, and Zach Holdorf helping us out, and always great to have our stat crew with us. 1st down and 10, 1:15 to go in the first quarter. Dunhill drops to throw. We'll dump it off to Bacon, his first catch. Jay-Z Bacon in the open field, closed down by Jay Mart, a 6-yard gain for the Baconator.
Yeah, smart play on 1st down going up against that aggressive Alamo City defensive line. Just keep them honest, dump it out to the to the halfback and the flats. Make sure that they have to keep an eye on that in the future, so maybe they can't put so much pressure on.
A fast-moving first quarter, only 3 stoppages of play on incomplete passes. That is the first incompletion for Dunhill, as 44 on 44 crime occurs. Bo Martin Jr. back in the league with that deflection intended for Robert Garrett Jr., 3rd down.
Yeah, it looked like Bo Martin Jr. got hit in the back of the leg by that pass. I mean, that could have been dangerous. The wide receiver was double covered.
I formation and 3 receivers in the pattern. Nickel look for Alamo City's defense. They'll run it on 3rd down, and Bacon is stopped in the backfield. A 1-yard loss. Jay Mart with the 2nd TFL of the night for Alamo City, and Fort Worth comes up empty again.
I mean, that tackle by J. Mart was a highlight reel shot right there. Looked like he dived over the offensive lineman to grab the runner and bring him down.
Punt is away from the Toros. There's a penalty marker. He actually ran into the returner even before the play began. That was just total stupidity there by Fort Worth on the kick coverage.
Cam, I don't know what it is, but so far this first quarter, we've been seeing some things that I haven't seen a whole heck of a lot in this league.
That's the first time this season that I've actually seen a player run into the returner before he even had an opportunity to make the catch. So that penalty will move the ball up to the 37-yard line. Costly penalty for the Toros, as Ace Fennick and company will start with excellent field position. 2 backs and 3 receivers as Brad Jones takes the handoff. Jones breaks off a couple tackles. He's in the open field. Nathan Davis has to clean it up at the Fort Worth 45-yard line. That's a pickup of 17 on the play.
Brad Jones is starting to get warmed up. We saw some power in the last series, putting the shoulder down and leveling the defender, but that run right there was by far his best tonight. And it looks like Alamo City is setting up a deep pass after a couple solid runs.
That's the end of the first quarter, an exciting first quarter as well, as Alamo City's trying to become the first team in a long time to beat Fort Worth in the regular season. 3-0 Artillery on top of the Toros here on the first Monday night spectacular of the season. Rochelle Colston, Bismarck Wright, and Zach Holdorf in the stats truck tonight. Charles Stockerty and Cameron Irvine with you here on the call, as it's been so far so good for Alamo City here this evening. Brad Jones has more total yards than Fort Worth does through that first quarter. Ace Fennick on a rollout. Maybe that's the deep pass, and there it is that Charles was setting up. First down to Montana. There is an injured player. It's Alamo City guard Charles Michael. That is a loss against this big Fort Worth front.
Yeah, what Alamo City is losing a 6'6", 330-pound veteran. I'm not sure who's coming in, but they're going to have a pretty big task filling the shoes of Michael. I hope he gets back on the field.
Michael in his third season. You know, this Alamo City team just as a whole beefed up in the offseason. A lot of players, 10, 20 pounds of, well, mostly muscle. I would imagine on the offensive line, maybe a little bit of fat, but a little bit of fat never hurt nobody. As that handoff goes to Jones. Jones, not a lot of room there. Shut down quickly by Delaney Nash, his first tackle of the night, 1-yard pickup.
Yeah, both of these squads on the offensive side have been showing a good mix of run and pass. Not a lot of deep shots. We did see that on that previous play, Cam, but I'm expecting maybe a little bit later in the game we'll see some bombs.
10 runs, 7 passes from Ace. Second down, or from the artillery rather. Second down and 9. Handoff to Jones, and Brad Jones just too tough. Picks up 8 on the play, dragging Ben Stone with him to set up yet another 3rd and short for the artillery.
That's the type of run that wears out the defender. I mean, Stone grabbed on, thought he was going to have a good tackle, and then the legs of Jones just kept turning and churning, and that's a good way for you to lose some gas as a defender.
Those Brad Jones numbers. There are your numbers here so far tonight. 2.8 yards per play for the Toros. Alamo City up over 5, but has just a 3-0 lead. Rain Storm trying to get past a blocker and just can't do it. Is going to be stopped short of the first down. Ben Stone and company there, but it was that tough defensive line up front. Jeff Duffy, I think, was there to make the play, and ACL have to settle for another 3.
Yeah, that defensive line was gave a lot of help to Stone bringing him down.
Fennick from 36 yards away now, closer to the right hash. And that one is right down the middle. Field goal is good. 6-play, 44-yard drive. And a couple of field goals early as Alamo City up 6-0 on the Fort Worth Toros.
Waiting to see some kind of sustained drive by Fort Worth to put some points on. I mean, they're only down by 6 points, but this is a tight game, and, every point's going to matter. But, they got to have a long drive here, put some points on the board, and respond to that ACA offense.
Minson going to help get him some really nice field position all the way out to the 38-yard line. Best return of the night by either team. Charles, what caught your attention in this exciting week 1?
Well, there were a lot of, you said in week 1, I think there were a lot of games that just got out of hand. I think a part of that is the teams not really knowing having a lot of tape on these other teams, and the turnovers with the turnover on the roster side with free agents. It's really hard to scout for, and I'm speaking from experience as well. That first week you want to get done quickly, and if you get a win, I mean, it's, you dodged a bullet.
Tulsa, Houston, Canton in particular with some big blowout wins on the schedule. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line for Dunhill. Dunhill will drop it off to Bacon. His second catch out of the backfield tonight, picks up 4. Jay Martz there once again on the coverage.
Smart play by Fort Worth. I'd like to see more of that, those screen passes to Bacon, Baker, maybe get Alexander involved as well. Keep that defense of ACA honest.
Bacon has struggled on the ground tonight as Alamo City is bowed up. They got a lot of players out there just kind of crowding Marcus Dunhill up front. That pass deflected by Albert Begin, 3rd down.
Yeah, I think his team's probably going to be ribbing him for not grabbing onto that one. But this is the type of game you put your mitts on the ball. You need to hold on to it, because any turnover, I think, can turn the tide of battle.
Alamo City's defensive front really tight in the middle, not letting anything through the trenches. 3rd down and 6. Dunhill against a blitz. Dunhill fires, caught by Minson. First down as Gunny McGuire turned around just a little bit too late. Minson hauls it in for the first down. That was a nice little stop route from EJ.
Yeah, well executed across the board. It started up front with that offensive line, giving Marcus Dunhill plenty of time to get the ball out.
You know, Charles, the worst thing about a little stop route like that is when you need 6 and the receiver only runs 5. EJ got 7 there. That was well done.
That's not that gets under my skin.
First and 10 for Fort Worth, down 6-0, 7:35 to go in the first half. Handoff to J.Z. Bacon, and Bacon will scoop up 3 yards to bring up 2nd and 7.
I hope this is a sign of things to come for the Fort Worth offense. It looks like they're starting to settle in a little bit, starting to see what they can do, what works against ACA.
Listen to that crowd at NordVPN Stadium. They've been waiting all weekend long to finally kick off season 22. And what better opponent than Fort Worth to start the artillery season here at home. James Jennings goes in motion. 2nd down and 7. Dunhill straight back, fires to RGJ for the first down. Robert Garrett Jr. a lot more involved, it feels like, in the offense early going than he was last season.
Yeah, Alamo City had a very aggressive defensive formation there. It looks like they had everyone on the line except for the 2 safeties, and that gave the tight end a good opportunity. You run a good route, get a quick step off the line of scrimmage, and you're going to be open.
Robert Garrett just 18 catches last season, already a couple on 3 targets here tonight as Bacon. Well, we got another injury. Bacon got a couple, but now it's Fort Worth's guard. All's fair in love and war. Frank Burks is down. Boy, when was the last time you saw that, Charles? Back-to-back guards going out.
Again, Cam, I don't know what it is. I think it's when you and I back together in the booth, weird things are going to start happening on the field.
Oh, man. What's the weirdest thing we've ever seen out there? We'll have to dig back into our memory banks for that.
The weirdest thing?
I don't.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. We've seen.
I'm gonna have to think about. I'll get back to you on that one.
We've seen some odd things. 2nd down and 7, 6:35 to go in the first half. That's Minson going in motion. 4 different players have caught a pass from Dunhill, who has 7 completions this first half. He throws an interception, picked up by Jay Mart, who had Dunhill's number in that Week 14 matchup. Made a couple of critical interceptions in that Fort Worth victory, but another bad sign for the Toros here tonight.
Yeah, Jay Mart's in his 7th season here in the SFL, and he's really becoming a Pro Bowl caliber player. And we've seen him flying around the field in the early part of the game, and he just read that on that particular play. He just read the eyes of Dunhill and was able to get that interception.
Jay Mart, 5 interceptions last season. That was actually tied for 5th. In the SFL, crazy to say. 1st and 10 now at the 35 for Fennick. Fennick dumps it off short to Kalia, and the sure tacklers of Fort Worth secondary make the play. That's Leach's first stop.
Yeah, right now, ACA's in the driver's seat. They're threatening in the red zone, ready to put some points on the board. And this is the time where Fort Worth really needs to make a stand and show us what they got.
Fort Worth's defense keeping him in it. Bacon just 7 yards on his first 5 carries. 2nd down and 9 with under 6 to go in the first half. Alamo City in no rush. Down to 7 on the play clock. Fennick drops to throw. 5 on the rush. Fennick, clean pocket, pass caught by Kalia inside the 30, 25, down to the 20 before Kalia is shoved out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. What a major acquisition for the artillery this offseason.
We were waiting for that long pass, and Kalia showed it on that one, but also was able to correct me. They weren't in the red zone. They are now. On that previous play, I think I said they were in the red zone.
Oh, see, I didn't even notice it was a mistake, Charles, because I thought you were talking about their previous drives. So I got what you meant.
I wasn't sure. I think I'm just going to thank Vin Kalia for that reception.
to the Fort Worth 18-yard line. Now Fennick under pressure, and he goes down for the sack. Luther Gond makes the play. Gond, 6 sacks last season, 9th in the SFL.
He's a monster. We said that at the top of the game, both him and Duffy. It was only a matter of time before they put their fingerprints on Ace.
They doubled up on J.L. Browning, who was coming in on a blitz, and then Luther Gond squirted free, brings down Fennick for a 4-yard loss. Each team now with a sack. 5:06 to go in the first half. Fennick, this time a clean pocket. Down the field, wide open, touchdown. Alamo City, it's Vin Callia again. His 4th catch of the first half, and it's 12-0.
Vin Callia is running a clinic on how to run deep routes. That was perfect. He was wide open. Looked like they played a deep zone there, and he just found the seam and made him pay for it.
What a start for Alamo City here tonight. Trying to make a statement. Fort Worth 12-0 in the regular season last season. Got the number 1 seed, ran into Baltimore in the semifinals, and fell to the Vultures in the 1-4 game. The Artillery were tied with Florida at 10-2, but Florida owned the strength of victory tiebreakers, so the semifinal played in Florida, and that's where Alamo City's season ended, to the eventual champions. But they are looking sharp here tonight, halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, this is response time for Fort Worth. They gotta come off this field at the end of the half with something on the board.
Vincent got it to the 38 on his last return. Nice block there at the 20, gets it out to the 24-yard line. That's where Fort Worth will set up with the football. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Minson's right. It was the division winner tiebreaker that helped Florida get that 2 seed. Memory was a bit foggy there. Thanks for that. 1st and 10 at the 24. Dunhill drops to throw. That pass caught by Charlie Baker, and he's gone.
Wow.
Baker off and running, or E.J. Minson rather. They changed numbers in the offseason, and E.J. Minson's got a touchdown. What a play. The newcomer, E.J. Minson, with the score. And just like that, Fort Worth goes up, or Fort Worth now just trails by 7.
E.J. the Baker Minson was wide open on that one. Took it to the house. It looked like the defender was trying for the interception, but Dunhill put the placement perfect in the Baker's hands, and he took it all the way.
See, that's when knowing or watching every game and seeing every roster, that's when it comes to bite you there, because I've seen 83 out there for years.
I'm looking at the roster. Baker.
No, E.J. Minson with his first touchdown as a Toro. Even though I botched it, and Amelia Rose has the extra point good, 13-7. A 75-yard touchdown from Marcus Dunhill. Before that pass, Dunhill had 54 passing yards, and Fort Worth is right back in it.
And I said at the kickoff, they had to show something, and they did in spades.
After so many quite lengthy drives to start this game, just a one-play drive, a shocker there as Hendricks gets the ball out to the 27-yard line. So Alamo City's got to regroup here. Fenix 7-10 for 119 and a touchdown so far today.
Yeah, they're gonna the defense of Fort Worth is gonna have to make some adjustments. I mean, Alamo City has been effective running the game in those deep passes. So they're gonna have to figure out something, maybe a way to get Ace, a little more pressure on Ace, so he doesn't have the time to go through the progressions on the field.
First down and 10 at the 27. Hand off to Jones. Jones will pick up 6. Not sticks, but 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
Wow, that was. I mean, that's 2nd and 4 is perfect for Ace walking on the field. He's got the whole playbook available. If they wanted to sneak in a deep pass here, it's the perfect time to do it. I mean, or they can just run it. I mean, so far Fort Worth hasn't found an answer.
4:16 to go in the first half. Handoff to Rainstorm. Storm will get a few on his 3rd carry. Will pick up 3rd down and 1. Coming up on the APM Music halftime report, Flat Cap and Casper the Friendly Host will break down a close battle in San Antonio tonight. Tyler's biggest surprise from week 1, potential week 1 overreaction alerts, and more coming up on the APM Music halftime report. 3:50 to go in the first half. Handoff to Brad Jones, and he gets a 1st down for the Artillery.
Great blocking up front. I mean, again, the offense of Alamo City is clicking. Fort Worth has got to dig their heels in and cause some sort of havoc there on the field to stop this this progression.
.323 to go in the first half. Alamo City trying to answer that Fort Worth touchdown, and
there you go.
Rainstorm is dropped for a loss of 2, wrapped up by J.L. Browning.
And J.L. Browning brought some of his buddies with him. He led the charge, and that's what we need to see from the defense of Fort Worth.
Time ticking away as the Toros could really flip momentum if they were able to get a stop. They pinch inside here again as Montana goes in motion. Montana just 1 catch on 1 target tonight for 17 yards. They've got stacked receivers off the right side. Fennick hit as he threw, and that pass is off the mark. Hank Earl Troll was out there, but more pressure from Fort Worth, nearly got their 2nd sack.
Yeah, Fort Worth starting to settle in, it looks like, and I think they found a couple cracks that they're going to try and capitalize on.
This is by far the longest 3rd down attempt of the night for Alamo City. They are 4 for 7 on 3rd down so far. Fennick play fake. Plenty of time, and it's incomplete. Knocked away just at the last second. Remington James with the pass deflection, and Fort Worth's defense gets off the field unscathed.
I mean, that's a quality nickel cornerback there that can cover that wide receiver so tightly, make a big play on 3rd down. I mean, that's a luxury for any defense out there.
Well, the script has flipped here in the 2nd quarter as Fort Worth from their 24-yard line on the return to the 28. Alamo City, had the advantage in the 1st quarter, but look at the 2nd quarter total yards stat once it pops up on the screen. Tied at 102 here in the 2nd quarter. Fort Worth's played them even.
I mean, Fort Worth's still in this. I mean, they answered up on that last series, and they've got plenty of time to cause some damage again.
All 3 timeouts, 2.5 remaining in the first half. Handoff, only gets 1. That is Charlie Baker. Jay Mart with his 6th solo tackle of the night. The whole rest of his team has 7.
He's on fire tonight, Cam. Almost every play on defense, we have Jay Mart either close to the tackle or making the highlight play.
NLags, this is ESPN NFL Football or SFL 4K23 as that pass is overthrown by Dunhill. We are the Simulation Football League. For more information, visit simulationfl.net. Big 3rd down coming up for Dunhill. 8 of 11, 129 yards, a touchdown, and a pick tonight.
That's not the type of pass that Dunhill normally misses. Cade Stevens was wide open. We would have been looking at another 6 points on the board.
Trips left for Fort Worth. They are 1 of 3 on 3rd down tonight. Dunhill going to roll to his right, has protection. Dunhill's pass caught, 1st down to the 44-yard line. That's Cade Stevens hauling it in at the 2-minute warning, and the Toros drive will continue.
A smart play, that rollout, get the defensive line of Alamo City guessing. And I guess he told Stevens in the huddle. Hey, look out, bud. I'm going to get you on this one. Sorry about the last one.
Two minutes to go in the first half. You're watching the Monday Night Spectacular presented by APM Music on SFL YouTube. 13-7. Alamo City leads Fort Worth Toro football with a fresh set of downs and all three timeouts. Rochelle Colston, Bismarck Wright, Zach Holdorf in the stat truck. Charles Doherty and Cameron Irvine here with you tonight from San Antonio. Dunhill will start the 2-minute offense with a handoff to Bacon, and Bacon's toughest run of the night gets him 8. His previous long was 3, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, more of that, Cam. More of that. Great blocking up front and showed a little power there by Jay-Z Bacon. They can't go to that well too often with the amount of time on the clock, but it just shows they got some options.
1:38 left. Dunhill going to take off himself. Marcus Dunhill's got a first down to the 41-yard line. His second quarterback sneak of the night. Alamo City not ready for it.
What has gotten into Marcus Dunhill? I haven't seen him run this much.
Dunhill almost has outgained Jay-Z Bacon in the first half, Charles. And if I would have told you that would be happening, you probably would have said Fort Worth's not playing very well. Dunhill, straight back, blitz, hit as he threw. He got nailed in the backfield. My gosh, I don't know who hit him, but they hit him hard. 2nd and 10.
Dunhill took a short drop just to try and get rid of that ball quickly, but the routes didn't develop. Great coverage downfield. I think you got to give credit to the defensive line of Alamo City, but also to that secondary. I mean, they had their wide receivers blanketed.
Nickel look for Alamo City's defense, trying to stand tall, up 6. Dunhill back, incomplete, knocked out of the hands. Bogey Barr with the swat away to set up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, the Alamo City defense is hitting tonight, and it looks like they're trying to confuse the offensive line of Fort Worth with some of the stunts that they're running on the line. On that one, it looks like they caught him a little off guard with that twist.
3rd down and 10 now. Quads look for the Toros. Dime package for Alamo City. 3-by-1 now as Hacker moves in motion. Outside of field goal range still currently for Fort Worth, so Alamo City can get a full stop. Dunhill drops to throw. Marcus Dunhill's pass is caught right at the first down line again. Timeout Fort Worth. That's the second time that they have delivered right at the sticks on 3rd down.
Smart veteran play by Dunhill. Did the audible. It looks like they were showing zone, went into a flood-type route pattern for their bunch receivers at the bottom of the screen, was able to find a wide-open wide receiver. Well, not necessarily wide open, but open enough to get that pass right in the breadbasket for a first down.
Robert Thump got that pressure 2 plays ago on Dunhill. Thank you, chat. First down now. Dunhill quickly, wide open. Stephen Hacker, as Alamo City was bringing the heat. Hacker gets it down to the 14-yard line. Now 1 timeout for Fort Worth, but it's hard to believe, Charles, they could take the lead going into the half.
Yeah, I mean, that's credit to Fort Worth. I mean, that last play looked like there was a blown coverage assignment because you don't leave the likes of Stephen Hacker that wide open and with that much room to run downfield.
Dunhill, 11 of 17 for $169 in the first half. Hacker goes in motion. Dunhill, pass is incomplete, but a flag. There was tight coverage on E.J. Minson, and Alamo City got there a little too early. That's going to result in a spot foul, first down, and stop the clock.
Yeah, that's one where the defensive coordinator of Alamo City is just kicking himself because had double coverage there on E.J. Minson, and it was a right coverage, just a little over aggressiveness by the defensive backs.
Jeez, that's a tough call to take. It was almost an optical illusion, Charles, that maybe Minson wasn't actually touched at all, but when we were watching the play, there were so many bodies around him. It certainly did look like he got hit early. 1st and goal at the 5 now, off the penalty. Dunhill's out of the shotgun. Mark's coming on a blitz and quickly throws to Hacker. Dunhill's got his 2nd touchdown, and Fort Worth is an extra point away from taking the lead.
Great route run by Hacker and great laser delivery by Dunhill into a crowd of defenders in the end zone. Let's see this on replay. Right over two heads of the two head. They looked like a safety and a linebacker could have easily put their hands up in the air and swatted that down.
Just some quick slants, but Hackers up to 37 yards and a touchdown to go with Minson's 98 yards and a touchdown in this first half. And it's Fort Worth's passing game, not their running game, that's been keeping them in this thing. 10-play, 72-yard drive. And now not only are they in this thing, but they lead this thing. And the Alamo City fans just a bit stunned right now.
I mean, this is typical of a prize fighter bout here. I mean, both teams, we said at the top of the game, excellent coaching, and I mean, they're loaded across the board. So I think this is going to go to the last minute.
Hendricks on the return to the 28. Fort Worth is 0-5 all time on the road in this series. Of course, they got their first win last season, but it was at home. So they're still trying to get a bit of a piece of history tonight. We lost a couple of guards earlier in the game. We will get an injury update on that while we are at the half with Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk, as that pass is caught by Calia to the 44-yard line, and Alamo City thinks they can get some points out of this. They're going to call a timeout.
It doesn't surprise me. 52 seconds. I mean, I think Greg Soto and his Alamo City offense has enough time to put some points on the board.
110 receiving yards in Calia's first game. As a member of the artillery, he had 728 receiving yards all last season, and Calia gets loose again. Down to 40 seconds. Timeout, Alamo City. They have one left, but this is shocking. This Fort Worth secondary was elite last season, and Calia is churning them up.
I mean, it looked like they were starting to get a hang of this, getting settled in on that last series, but man, Calia was wide open on that play. Maybe a missed coverage.
So 24 seconds left. Or ball on the Fort Worth 24, rather. That pass is complete with 34 seconds left. That is caught by Calia again. 1:59 in the first half. 26 seconds left. Fennick drops to throw into the end zone. Pass is deflected and incomplete. They were looking for him one more time. That's your MVP, Delaney Nash, 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that tip, I think, could go a long way. I mean, they need some time to settle down and figure out how they're going to stop this Alamo City offense.
The pace of play in the last couple of minutes has just been wild. 2nd and goal, 23 seconds left. Ball's on the 6.5-yard line. Man in motion, 6 on the play clock.
No coverage at the bottom.
No coverage. Fennick throws that direction, and Calia, or rather Montana, had to step out of bounds. Missed opportunity there, I think, Charles.
Not the nitpick, Cam, but there had to have been somebody open in that end zone. They had 3 wide receivers on that side, and it looked like they had Fort Worth stuck in that zone, didn't make any adjustments, and had to have been some options.
Vin Calia's already eclipsed last season's season high in the first half. That was 133 on October 13th. 160 in the first half. 3rd down and goal now. Fennick, play action. Fennick hit as he threw, incomplete as Fort Worth gets a paw in on Calia to prevent the touchdown. Alamo City, for the 3rd time tonight, will have to settle for 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a small victory there for the Fort Worth defense, because they were on their heels. And that tip by Delaney Nash, I think, was, went a lot further than, we probably can see here in the booth, because they had time to settle down and figure out how they're going to stop, what kind of plays they needed to call here in the red zone.
Yeah, I agree, Charles. It was almost like that missed opportunity down at the bottom of the end zone, and then Montana went out of bounds. It kind of almost reset the manicness that Fort Worth's defense was having to play with, and they got it together and saved 4 points.
I mean, definitely. I think, like I said before, this is going to be a back and forth battle, and we're seeing some great coaching here, and also on the field, some on the field leadership as well. I think I think Delaney Nash got his team together there in the end zone, was able to do what they needed to do, put some things out there to get them from scoring that touchdown for Alamo City.
Nash was off to a quiet start, but he has stepped up on the last couple of drives. Minson gets it out to the 24-yard line, so 10 seconds left. We will go through the first half player stats and snapshots before we send it over to Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk for your APM Music halftime report here on the Monday Night Spectacular. Week 2 right around the corner. Gets kicked off with Fort Worth. They will host Minnesota on Friday night. That pass is caught. That was nearly a pick six, Charles. We're going to have to watch for that in the second half. Bo Martin Jr. was just sitting on it, and that is...
I thought that was going to be an interception.
That is the end of the first half.
Wide receiver came in at the last second.
Bo Martin Jr. With the tackle and near pick six. That's the end of the first half. What an exciting first half. It was a 2-point game at the end of the game in week 14 last season. It's a 2-point game at halftime here, 16-14, Alamo City on top of Fort Worth. Charles, what'd you think of the first half?
Wow, I mean, I think primarily the defense of Alamo City. I mean, they had their way at the beginning of the half. Fort Worth was able to make some adjustments there late in the half and was able to put some points on the board. I mean, and again, we're looking at two veteran quarterbacks out there have been, playing a chess game out there with the defense, making audibles on the line, shifting out of coverage. I mean, this is a clinic for all you quarterbacks out there that want to play in the SFL, watching Dunhill and Fennick. I mean, I think that both teams are probably going to want to get their running backs a little bit more into the game. I mean, we had some success with Jay-Z Bacon and also Brad Jones as well, 61 yards. But I think they're going to need to continue that success on the Alamo City side. But on Fort Worth, they're going to need to get Baker and Bacon a little bit more involved here to keep that defense of Alamo City guessing.
We'll see how the second half goes when we come back. It's the AP Music Halftime Report coming up next, 16-14, Alamo City.
And with that, a 16-14 score is how we have things in the first half of the first Monday Night Spectacular Season 22. I'm Chris Curtis, along with Tyler Falk to my, what is this? This is my left. How's it going, Tyler?
It's going well, Curtis. Good to be back. Good to be back here on Monday night. I've missed being back on Monday night. We weren't there for the first meeting in the last couple of months between these two clubs, but it's good to be back. We've got a lot to look forward to here this season, and we've got a lot to talk about here tonight.
We do, and let's get it started with the first half of this game. First quarter was, I mean, I'm not afraid to say it was a bit of a snoozer for the first little while, but the second half of the second quarter really got things started in a big way. Had 2 touchdowns in a fairly short amount of time, and these offenses just kind of started to wake up.
Yeah, just a little bit right. I mean, the defenses were on full display in the first quarter. Second quarter, we saw the adjustments. We saw Fort Worth say, we're not really hitting the middle. Mike O'Neill's keys to the game was get good, solid linebacker coverage around the middle part of the field. And Jay Martin, Bogey Barr were doing an excellent job. Martin comes away with, I think, his 3rd interception the last 2 meetings between these two clubs. A phenomenal job by Martin. But then, all of a sudden, after Fort Worth just getting knocked back and back by 2 scores, they say, you know what, the middle's not working. Let's start hitting the outside on some deep goes. And all of a sudden, there they go. They go off on a 1-play drive that got E.J. Minson down the field, down for a big old strike to get themselves on the board. First, they keep going. They didn't hit. They didn't get Cade Stevens involved in the slot or in general over the middle until their final drive of the half. Alamo City really trying to control the middle of the field, and it showed. And we have ourselves a very tight ball game.
Yeah, and both quarterbacks playing about equally as well as the other. 2 touchdowns on one to one in the other, and only 1 interception in that first half as well. So good stuff there. And the running games have yet to really get going, but let's talk about the player of the half right now. That's got to be Vin Calia. He's got $160 through, I believe, 7 catches is what I saw in that first half. And that's wild for him to have that in the first half. This is the same guy who had 6 touchdowns in a game when he played for London a couple seasons ago. But so he's known to do some things like this. But this is a wild start for him.
I think the words right out of my mouth. I was going to mention his past tenure with London and with Johnny Pickler, always trying to air out the football across the pond, now doing it over in San Diego. He goes to Minnesota, who's more of a running team with Colin Hart and company over there, and so his production maybe dropped off maybe just a touch, but now back in here, it's a very good sign, not just for him, but for Alamo City as well, to get him involved early enough and get him over a $150, $160 already, as you mentioned.
We'll be giving some updates on the injuries that occurred in the first half as well. A couple of guards, one for each team. It looks like Burks for Fort Worth, dislocated finger, and then the other guard for Alamo City was Michael, pulled stomach muscle, and he is done for the day. And so Burks as a probable return status, so we may see him come back at the start of this third quarter. We shall see what happens at the halftime break. But let's get into the other parts of the SFL season as week 1 around the league got going this weekend. And I want to ask you your biggest surprise from the week 1 slate.
And let's start off with just delaying the inevitable just a little bit. The non-surprise for me was Baltimore falling to Queen City. Queen City played a very fantastic game. Baltimore kept with them though all throughout. Just, again, the week 1 jitters, just not like Baltimore, but for the past 2 seasons now they have lost their home opener in consecutive seasons, so it's not really a surprise to me. The biggest surprise to me is seeing Arizona be completely just controlled. They were under a spell, it seemed, especially in the running game. No back got above 25 yards on the ground between all 4 of their backs. I know, especially in this new era, we're trying to get everybody involved and you're loading up, trying to make sure your star players are out there more. But I think Arizona just did it a little bit too much. They tried to get everybody involved. At the same time, they lost their offensive identity. They lost getting the PJ Moses down the field early enough. They tried to get Jay Ballmer, the fullback, a lot more touches. In fact, Ballmer ended up with the most carries on that team, and Canton just took advantage. They were ready for week 1. Arizona was not. That is the biggest surprise, knowing how good of a coach Eddie Gage and company over in Arizona are.
Well, and that speaks to the offense not really being on the same page, but also Arizona giving up 28 points to a Canton attack that was primarily a ground-based, more of a traditional attack from Canton. It was fun to watch Canton just do kind of what they wanted, and it wasn't, anything against Arizona. That's a very stout defense, but Canton went to work, and it was really fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Logan Lee coming over from Vancouver and immediately making an impact alongside Robert Johnson. They both combined, both backs had over 100 yards at the end of the game. Both had 2 touchdowns apiece. They combined for all 4 of their teams' touchdowns in the game, and then the defense was just suffocating. They did not allow anything. They controlled the game, especially they made Ashley Jackson throw the football. She threw a bunch of interceptions, and it led to Canton having a very dominant win at Fatherhood Festival Field.
You turn Arizona into a one-dimensional team, and they are beatable, just like the rest of the league. No doubt about that. So let's segue from that into what I like to call an overreaction alert, and that's a team that, like Arizona, maybe got a little bit overwhelmed with things going on in week 1, maybe like Baltimore as well. But who is your biggest potential who do you see as the biggest potential for their fan base to have an overreaction in week 1?
I think there's a lot of teams right now that can have an overreaction right now. I mean, we just look at all the teams that won and you say, oh, it's only week 1. There's still plenty of things that can happen here in the SFL, especially we look at Arizona, Baltimore, look at Charleston, who had a very good game on opening night. We look at Portland, who really struggled a little bit. We look at San Diego, who only put up 7 points with Johnny Pickler under center. We know how much he loves to throw the football, but Houston was there, and they were truly out to get Johnny and the rest of the Mavericks. But I think the biggest takeaways for this week in the SFL is just not to overthink everything, right? You look at a team week 1, they come out and play well. We look at Canton, 4 touchdowns for their halfbacks. Might not see that again come 7 weeks down the season, because teams will have game tape on this season, on these regulations, on these changes to philosophy for every single team. So take week 1 with a grain of salt, celebrate the win, learn from the loss, and move forward. There's still 13 weeks left in this regular season, still plenty of time to still make the playoffs.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of time left in this season. Obviously, only week 1, and there's a lot of time left in this game as well. Only a 2-point affair as Alamo City leads Fort Worth as we start the third quarter. Cameron Irvine, Charles Doherty on the other side. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report. We'll see you after the game.
Back here in San Antonio with everyone, and thank you Chris Curtis and Tyler Falk, as Fort Worth will start with the football here in the second half. 16-14, Alamo City has the lead over Fort Worth. Charles, did you enjoy that halftime break?
Oh, I did. I didn't quite get the high quality water that I'm used to, but it was good enough. It quenched my thirst. But hey, I wanted to add to the guys at the halftime show. I mean, they put a lot of love to some of the guys on offense, but you can't forget the play of J Mart on ACA, and also Ben Stone on Fort Worth on the defense side.
Yeah, there were a couple defensive players that were standouts for sure, as J Mart is one of them.
There you go.
He gets his second pick and gets it up to the 24-yard line. J Mart has Marcus Dunhill's number. That is official at this point.
Yeah, that's uncanny. I mean, J Mart making us look good. I mean, that was great. He's just reading the quarterback's eyes there, and he was in the seam there and just adjusted into the middle at the last second and just showed his athletic ability, able to close in on that pass. I mean, Marcus Dunhill is a cannon of an arm, and that being able to close on that pass is not an easy thing to do.
That's what makes divisions so fun, Charles, because these two teams know each other so well, and J Mart, now in 2 meetings against Fort Worth, has 4 picks. He had 2 picks against him on October 30th, and here not even 3 months later, as Vincent almost took one back. Wow, right off his hands. Almost back-to-back linebacker picks. Second down.
The way tonight's going, Cam, I'm shocked that wasn't an interception. I mean, we've been seeing wacky things all night.
Man, J Mart, what are the odds? The dude had 5 interceptions last season, but 2 of them came against Fort Worth. He gets 2 more tonight against the same team. Alamo City has a chance to go up by more than a couple as the momentum meter just continues to swing back and forth. If the Rick meter was here, it would be broken at this point. Ace Fennick back to pass, wide open, caught, first and goal. Is that Kalia again? Oh my gosh, Kalia approaching 200.
He's putting on a master's class on how to run a football receiving route. I mean, that's just amazing. He's wide open. They're playing a lot of deep zone there, and rightly so. But they gotta bring back that medium coverage there, because Kalia's finding an opening between the center and the middle zone coverage is just killing him.
Fennick has 204 passing yards. 175 of them have been to Kalia. First and goal at the 7. Handoff to Brad Jones. He'll get 3.5. And that'll bring up second down and goal.
Yep, another test for the Fort Worth defense. I mean, they've shown what they can do before when Alamo City gets in the red zone. Let's see if they can get some of that magic dust out there on the field again.
Second down and goal off of the J Mart interception on the first play. Storm is smashed by Vincent, a loss of a yard. Storm just 4 yards on 4 carries, so that'll set up a third down and goal. This is where Fort Worth's defense has been great. Alamo City's been kicking a lot of field goals tonight.
Well, it just seems like they flip a switch when it starts getting close to that end zone, and Vincent just showed an animalistic tackle there on that last play.
Third and goal. 8 in the box. Wide open up top. Oh, he missed him. Ace Fennick went down to the bottom looking for Hanker will troll, and it's 4th down. Look at the top of the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell from that angle cam, but I think he just kind of threw it where he thought the receiver was supposed to be. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Troll, but I don't think he saw anything in the end zone with that pass rush of Fort Worth right in his face.
So the Toros defense gets yet another stop and will force a field goal and keep this a one-possession game. 19-14 is your new odd score, a 6-play, 21-yard drive. Fort Worth last season gave up just 20 red zone touchdowns in 12 games. That was second best in the SFL.
That's impressive. I mean, they're behind the score here, but they've really shown how good a defense they are with stopping Alamo City from making those touchdowns in the red zone.
Shout out to the 86 viewers right now watching tonight's ball game. We know that we are not the only football on tonight, but we appreciate you choosing us as Minson gets up to the 23-yard line. Okay, Charles, you talked about it at the half. You'd like to see the running games get a little bit more involved, especially Bacon, just 15 yards on 6 carries.
And I think they can make not just runs, but they can also use them on those short out routes and swing passes and screens, and just mix it up a little bit.
First down to the 23-yard line. Dunhill drops to throw. That pass is complete. That's Cade Stevens picking up about 7.5 to set up a 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, nice play there on first down. Looking to see if maybe they run some 4 receiver routes. I mean, I've got a little bit of selfish reasons for seeing that, but I've got my eye on them.
Yeah, let's go, Lely. Let's get out there. 2nd down and 2. 7:53 to go in the 3rd. And Dunhill on another sneak. He's got a first down. 3 for 3 tonight. Marcus Dunhill is now the leading rusher for Fort Worth.
That's crazy. I would never. I mean, that would have been a good bet to have going into the game. How many rushing yards Dunhill has and whether or not he'd be leading at this point in the game.
7.5 to go in the 3rd. Dunhill now dropping the pass. Dunhill's got a wide open E.J. Minson. Not going to make that mistake twice. First down for the Toros on Minson's 5th grab.
Yeah, it looks like they saw some things on film when they went into the halftime and made some adjustments, and so far their offense looks like it's starting to click a little bit.
McGuire let him go, playing a short zone, and Dunhill right on time with that pass. Minson up to 112, and he has settled into his new team quite nicely. Another pinch up front from Alamo City. Both defensive lines making sure they're not giving up too much up the middle, although they have not had an answer for Marcus Dunhill on the sneaks. Dunhill to throw, faced immediate pressure, and the pass is picked off. Forward, he fumbled the ball. It's still loose, and Albert Begin recovers the fumble, so it's still Alamo City football. But the 3rd mistake from Marcus Dunhill tonight is killing Fort Worth. Pass picked off by Rain Rie.
I mean, I don't know. It looked like Hacker got laid out there. I don't know if they looked like the pass might have been intended for him. I don't know if there was a tip or whatever, but could have been a call there.
Stephen Fellows the 2nd, not going to get credit in the box score, but he got an immediate jump on the defensive line and put that pressure on Dunhill's 3rd interception of the night. So now Alamo City takes back over. Remember, just 5 minutes of game time ago, Fort Worth led this game 13-14. Since then, Alamo City's tacked on 2 field goals, gotten 2 turnovers. And Ace Fennick has Yale Montana inside the 30 in a foot race inside the 15 down to the 12. Tackled by Aiden Davis from behind. First down, Artillery.
Only the 2nd time he's been targeted tonight, but he made him pay on that one. Got right behind the coverage, and a nice pass by Ace. I thought he was taking it to the house, but still not a bad route run and a reception yard after catch for Greg Soto.
53 yards. It's the 3rd pass play of the night collectively that's gone over 45 yards. That's the longest pass for Fennec, who's now up to 254 through the air. 6:15 to go. The handoff goes to Storm. Storm inside the 10, muscles his way down to about the 8-yard line. A 4-yard pickup for Alamo City.
Again, Fort Worth finds themselves in the position where they have to show what they can do on defense in the red zone. It was pretty quick. They didn't get much of a rest.
On the 8 now. Can Fort Worth's defense come up with another red zone stop? If they can't, Alamo City's going to get almost their largest lead of the night. They led 13-0 early in the ball game. Handoff to Brad Jones, and he has no room there. Remember, guard Charles Michael is out of the game after stomach issues. So 3rd down and 6, trying to run off that left side, nothing doing.
And Luther Gahn just plugged the gap. It looked like he plugged 2 gaps there and allowed the linebacker a clear path to the running back on it.
Alamo City spreads them out. Just 5 in the box and a dime 3-2 for Fort Worth, showing blitz. 3rd down and 6. They bring both linebackers. Fennec on a rollout. Fennec's got all kinds of time. It's breaking down, goes to the end zone. Pass tipped up in the air and incomplete. Again, Ben Stone with a pass deflection, the 8th of the night for Fort Worth, and they come up with another red zone stop.
Yeah, Ben, I mentioned at the beginning of the half, Ben Stone's having himself a game as well, but Fort Worth lined up in man. That was a good call there. Didn't give. I think Fennec thought he was going to get that same read where he missed that pass in the end zone in the I think that was the second quarter. But good defense again by Fort Worth when they've been challenged in the red zone.
I'll give him some credit there. Tavius Gordon actually with the deflection. Stone was also in the area. Matt Fennec now 5 for 5 through the first 25 minutes of this game. He's averaging a field goal every 5 minutes, and Alamo City extends their lead ever so slightly, 22-14. What are the odds, Charles, that Alamo City would score 22 points in back-to-back meetings with Fort Worth? That's such an odd score.
Yeah, I mean, Fort Worth still, I mean, they're only down by 1 score in a 2-point conversion, and they've shown an ability to strike quickly. Let's see if they roll the dice here and maybe challenge them deep.
Lili Nakai on the return out to the 23-yard line. There you go. Break it down,
I must say,
Charles.
a very beautiful player, beautiful run. I can't stop gushing about that play right there. She's sitting on the couch behind me.
Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There's no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Dunhill on the long ball, caught to the 43-yard line. That's Minson. Over 100 and counting. First down, Fort Worth.
Yeah, I think Minson's having himself quite a game as well tonight. He's over the 100-yard mark, and he's shown an ability, just like Kalia has on the other side of the ball. He's shown an ability to run some really good routes and get some space between him and the defenders.
As you look at your updated team stats, a lot of yards tonight, 325 to 252. Both teams averaging 6 yards a play, despite the somewhat low score, as Charlie Baker gets a carry for 1. Foraker on the tackle.
They found something there on that medium. It looked like maybe that was a post that was run. I'm not 100% sure there, but they found something on the Fort Worth side that they can go back to.
Dunhill squeezed it in there to Stephen Hacker. That's a pickup of 7 to set up a 3rd down and 2 for the Toros.
And not many quarterbacks in this league can put the ball where Dunhill can. I mean, there are 3 defenders around the receiver. Not much room for error there, but Dunhill is very confident. Like I said earlier, he's got a cannon of an arm, is able to just drill that in there.
3rd and 2. This is Baker in motion. Back out to, oh, nope, there goes Dunhill again. He's got the first down, but this time he paid for it. Got absolutely crushed. 4 straight. This is like the new SFL tush push. This is just Dunhill on a quarterback keeper, fooling the artillery, moving the chains.
I think that's a T-shirt we can sell at the next convention, the SFL tush push.
Maybe we could set the world record for the largest tush push and have everyone at the cafe. I don't know. JC Bacon picks up 3 yards. What do you think?
Yeah, we might want to move on from that one. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let that marinate.
Well, you know,
this might come back at us.
when we get our creative brains flowing, Charles, sometimes it can get a little manic in here.
That's right.
3:08 to go in the third. 2nd down and 7. Fort Worth on the move. Dunhill rolls to his right just a bit and fires complete to Minson. 1st down. Fort Worth. The Toros drive continues. What a game.
I mean, that's a battle. I mean, for that ball, Minson showed he had what it took on that one going up against Bo Martin Jr., and Bo Martin's no slouch.
7 for 146. .242 left in the 3rd quarter. Dunhill again drops, and this time is picked off again. And we talked about right at the end of the 1st half, Charles, Bo Martin Jr. was sitting on that short route. We said, oh boy, that was almost a pick. This time it is a pick. The 4th turnover for Fort Worth tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure he was, his eyes were wide open when he saw that formation. It was just begging for them to throw that route again.
Threw it right to him.
Yikes.
J. Mart with 2 picks, Rainrier with 1, Bo Martin Jr. with 1, and Fort Worth lucky to be in this thing with all of Dunhill's mistakes tonight. This defense has got to be getting a little bit tired of getting on the field and having to get a stop. 2:38 to go in the 3rd. Alamo City up 8. Fennick drops to throw. Fennick now off his back foot, fires, caught! Vincalia 1st down to the Fort Worth 46. There is nothing this man can't do.
That's just not fair. I mean, the way Collier's running routes and Ace Fennick there, you know, he did not put on a clinic on how to throw the ball. He did everything wrong, but it was just so right to get the way he threw it.
9 for 197 for Vincalia. Ryan Roosevelt and Gabriel Manning went over 200 earlier this week. And Calia could be the 3rd addition to the 200 club as Brad Jones gets 5 to set up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, to your point earlier, Cam, the Fort Worth defense has got to be gassed. I mean, they have not had a lot of time on the bench to do some planning on how to stop this offense of Alamo City.
Alamo City now over 100 yards of total offense in back-to-back quarters. 350 in total, and we haven't even hit the 4th yet. 8 in the box now for the Toros. Handoff goes to Jones. Jones, nice vision, cuts it back inside to pick up 3. 3rd and 2 coming up. Alamo City just one of their last 6 3rd downs converted.
Yeah, these 3rd downs are quite exciting. The Fort Worth defense really has put on a show on what to do on 3rd down here, and let's see what kind of tricks they can pull out of their hat.
And they are just outside of field goal range right now. Again, 8 in the box for the Toros as they crowd it. Calia's at the top of the screen. They're going to hand off to the fullback. It's Garrison Blue, 1st down to the 30-yard line. What an adjustment from Alamo City. Great play call. They can get the short yardage plays too.
That was a great hole for Blue to run up as well. The blocking up front, even with their injured guard down, Charles Michael, they were able to create a huge hole for the tight end, Garrison Blue, to get a 1st down.
Now into field goal range to make it a 2-score game. Fort Worth in desperate need of a turnover. Alamo City does not have one tonight. Fennick back to pass. Fennick down the field, incomplete. Looking for Calia, and a bonus shot taken to Vin by Ben Stone after the tip. 2nd and 10.
I can't remember when the last time he dropped the ball or missed a pass that was thrown to him. I know he's missed a couple, but that probably was early in the game. He's been on fire.
2nd down off the incompletion. Yeah, Vin Calia early and off. He has more targets than anybody on the team combined. Fennick is 14 of 25. Jones has been good too. 17 carries, 72 yards. Average of 4.2. 2nd down. Fennick on the rollout to the right. And Fennec down the field, hits Montana down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, and now this is where Fort Worth's defense has done its job, but the problem is that the time's running out and their offense isn't scoring.
Yeah, Alamo City has been, I think they've been very effective on that rollout play. That defensive line of Fort Worth has been aggressive, and Ace Fennec has run that, that rollout perfectly and is able to give him some time and also keep the defensive line of Fort Worth on their toes.
So look at the pass breakdown for Fennec, and a lot of that passing to the right of the hash marks has been Kalia. 1:10 to go in the third. Or 10 to go in the third. Fennec back in the end zone. Kalia, but he was out of bounds. Incomplete. Just a little bit too much on that one.
Yeah, I think Ace wanted to get rid of that ball a little quicker, but it looked like he took that extra step in the pocket, waiting for some things to set up, but Kalia was blazing down the field, and I'm questioning this challenge.
Yeah, this is surprising from Greg Soto, leaving it all on the field, I guess. Let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console. Go Retroid.com. I didn't think Vin had any feet inbounds. Let's see if we get a different angle on it. Nope.
Hard to tell with the blue shoes and the blue end zone, but I think his foot was in the air.
Yeah, he may have dragged one, but he definitely didn't have two. Alamo City's going to lose a timeout. With all their red zone struggles, Charles, I'm kind of not surprised that Coach Soto said, hey, we might as well, because we need all the touchdowns we can get down here.
I mean, the coaching staff for Alamo City doesn't have a lot of time to look at that play in order to tell them to challenge the play. So, and it's kind of hard with a blue shoe and that blue end zone. I hate keep going back to that, but I had to look at it a couple times just to see if his foot was in.
Yeah, it's tough. 7 seconds left in the third. Now Fennec going to roll out to his left. Fennec now facing pressure, but the pass is caught.
There you go.
Touchdown, Hank Earl Troll. And Alamo City has opened things up. They're back up by 14.
Yeah, that drag route across the goal line was a perfect play call for Ace Fennec, and the defense, the secondary, wasn't looking much out of Hank Troll running a route deep in the end zone, and he just fooled him by just doing one step in. Great pass, great wherewithal by Ace to see the open receiver.
Right in between 5 different defenders. What an odd game. Alamo City scores the first 13 points, then Fort Worth scores the next 14 points, and then Alamo City scores the next 16 points, and they now have a 29-14 lead. Now, the good news for Fort Worth, Charles, is they're just down 2 touchdowns. It's not insurmountable, but Marcus Dunhill's got to stop throwing the ball away.
Yeah, the problem is, though, the secondary and the linebacking core of Alamo City, they're starting to feed right now. I mean, they've had 2 interceptions at the beginning of the half, and also the last one by Bo Martin. It looks like they're starting to get fired up there.
That return by Nakai to the 20 will end the third quarter of play. 29-14, Alamo City leads the Fort Worth Toros. We'll see what the fourth quarter holds when we come back. League rights coming up, and we'll be back in about 10 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Start of the fourth quarter, Rochelle Colston, Zach Holdorf, Bismarck Wright in the stats truck. Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine here with you. 29-14, Alamo City with the lead. Fort Worth has all 3 timeouts and plenty of time. Dunhill drops to throw. Deep, caught, Hacker, past midfield. Stephen Hacker down to the Alamo City 45-yard line. The second time Fort Worth has hit Alamo City for a major play down the field.
Yeah, it's hard covering Hacker. I'm telling you, he's a smart wide receiver and knows how to take advantage if he sees any type of weakness in that coverage.
Fort Worth has turned the ball over on their last 3 possessions. That's all the possessions in the second half. In the second half, they have not had a drive that ended in anything but a turnover. They've got to turn it around right now as Robert Garrett Jr. goes in motion. Dunhill, 3-step drop, fires, Stephen Hacker.
Go.
Oh, what a move! Hacker, 10-5 touchdown. Are you kidding me? The spinorama. Wow. Oh, that was nasty, and Fort Worth has cut it back down to single digits.
Just the type of punch in the arm that Fort Worth needed for their offense. I mean, wow. Quick strike offense at its best right there. Hacker was again able to find a weakness in the coverage for Alamo City and made them pay for it.
So Stephen Hacker and E.J. Minson now over 100 yards. Both quarterbacks over 300 passing yards, and this, Charles, over any game this week has been the best show for quarterbacks out here. Just a pair of 300-yard gunslingers.
And we still have a long way to go, my friend.
Yeah, 9-18 is an eternity, it feels like, in this game. Hendricks on the return out to the 30. Here's your passing yards. 325 to 307.
Wow.
Exciting, partner.
No, I think, and I don't want to put the bad juju on Alamo City, but so far they've played mistake-free.
And that's really been the difference. I mean, it's kind of alarming how good this Fort Worth team can be without the turnovers. If they hadn't had all those turnovers, I mean, Fort Worth is definitely winning this game. But Alamo City has won that battle, and they lead the scoreboard battle right now by 8. Ace Fennick down the field. Oh, my! One-handed Montana to the 46-yard line. You kidding me?
That was impressive.
These guys just
and
showing
the thing
off
about
now.
Alamo City, they're not gonna stop firing downfield. It doesn't matter what the score is, and they showed it on that one. What a great! I mean, that's I think Greg might have been showing off just a little bit.
That's now 4 different receivers over 100 yards tonight. That's wild. 29-21. Kenny Hendricks goes in motion. 1st and 10, 8:40 left. Hendricks does not have a target tonight, but he is a speedster. He's a dangerous weapon out there in the slot. Handoff now to Rain Storm. Storm will get 3. Brad Jones has been quiet in the second half. Just hadn't had a lot of looks.
And I think Fort Worth is probably happy that he hasn't been getting many carries because he was really beating them up in the first half.
8:16 and counting. Handoff Jones. And Jones made the first guy miss. Picks up 1.5 yards. Critical 3rd and 5. Coming up for the artillery. Again, 2 of their last 7 converted 3rd downs.
I hate to say it, but Fort Worth, the way they're playing on offense, they need to get a stop here and get that ball back in Dunhill's hands.
Fennick going to throw. Fennick got a great block on the left side, and the pass is incomplete. Kalia was open, and Delaney Nash got the paws up there and knocked it away. I thought Kalia had another walk-in touchdown, Charles.
Definitely, and Nash does it again with those big mitts, stopping the drive in its tracks.
Punt coming from Danny Dimes. And from the 16-yard line, not much. Maybe even lost a yard. Good kick coverage there.
I mean,
the artillery, that's winning.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if I was a punt returner, I'd fair catch it every time. They catch the ball with 2 guys standing right in their face.
I know.
and still want to run with it.
It's a young man's game.
Wow.
Willie
Wow.
Bands with a nice tackle there on special teams for the artillery. This defense is deep. We didn't get to all of the starters tonight. There just are so many on this roster. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Down 8. The handoff for a 4-yard pickup goes to Charlie Baker. Just his 3rd carry of the evening. 2nd and 6.
That was a nice run by Baker. I want to see more of that.
The rushing yards tonight for Fort Worth are almost non-existent. 45 on the night, and not had more than 21 in any one quarter. Dunhill straight back. Robert Garrett Jr. with the catch. His 3rd of the evening. 1st down, Fort Worth.
And Garrett's been pretty quiet as well. I mean, he's one of the better tight ends in the league too, and he hasn't been showing a lot tonight from a receiving standpoint. Blocking like heck, but not so much in the passing game.
Yeah, and that's been a bit surprising as Dunhill will flip it out to Bacon. Bacon's got some space on the outside and gets 4 to set up a 2nd down and 6 now. I don't want to put this out there, Charles, but the thought has crossed my mind. If Fort Worth scores a touchdown, this game for the 2nd straight time could come down to a 2-point conversion to tie the game. How crazy is that?
That's right. Yeah, it's crazy.
2nd and 6. Dunhill escaping. Dunhill nearly hit, and it's caught. Robert Garrett Jr.
Play.
with his 4th grab.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
Holy smokes. I think that was that Thump that was in front of him? See the replay here. I mean, Marcus Dunhill,
Yeah, it
great
was.
pocket presence. Great route run by Garrett. He just had to trust that the tight end was going to be where the ball was going to be put. And it looks like they practiced that a couple times.
Forker, I believe, on the stop there. Rob Forker, that is. 3rd tackle. 6:05 left. And Fort Worth lives to fight another day. Trailing in the turnover department 4-0. Yet a chance to tie the game on this drive. Hacker goes in motion. Dunhill going to throw again. Dumps it off to Bacon. That's his 4th catch. Bacon will get a couple, but Alamo City really closed that one down.
I love it, though. I love the fact that they're doing those short passes to their halfbacks and tight ends as well. Didn't see a lot of that in the first half, but they're mixing it up and making Alamo City work for it.
A lot of viewers tonight, Charles, but a quiet chat, and what that always tells me is people are locked in to a close game. Dunhill drops to throw, deep shot, pass caught.
Wow.
1st down to the Alamo City 44-yard line. That is Cade Stevens, just his 3rd grab of the evening, but another completion for Dunhill was 24th.
Yeah, Dunhill has had some magnificent passes tonight, and that's definitely near the top of the list. Not a lot of room to get the ball there, but to Stevens with the defender closing, it was a great pass.
And he's shaking off those interceptions too, right, Charles? I mean, he
And that's what veterans do. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been to the big game, and he's got a lot of experience, and he knows not to let a couple mistakes keep him down.
2 backs, 2 receivers. Dunhill again having to scramble away from pressure, and Hacker just got nailed. That is Ron Hoff making the big play, 2nd down.
Yeah, they're really putting the hits on Hacker. Haven't seen a lot of hits on the other wide receivers, but Hacker is he's going to have to get in the ice bath here after this.
No doubt, you're right. He has just been taking a beating, probably a little bit unfairly compared to the rest of the receivers. The handoff goes to Bacon. It's blown up. Steven Fellows the 2nd. I know Bacon somehow managed to get 5 yards out of that, but Fellows the 2nd and Thump on the outside of this defensive front have been terrific.
Yeah, I thought that was a loss too, and he just kept the legs moving.
3rd and 5. 4.5 to go, down 8, just outside of field goal range. Dunhill drops to throw, fires into traffic, incomplete. Hacker gets crushed again, and now it's decision time here. I think they're going to go.
They should. I think they should. I mean, not a lot of time, and you don't want to put the ball back in Ace Fennick's hands.
4th down and 5. Trips to the right. Crowd getting loud at NordVPN Stadium. Dunhill rolling to his left. Fires, caught by Hacker at the 25. He holds on despite the big hit, and the drive continues.
That was a huge play for the Fort Worth offense. That was their biggest play of the game. I mean, they needed to have that. Didn't score, but wow, that could have put the game on ice, I think, if they would have turned that ball over.
Jukenruken Jr. on the tackle. 8 catches, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns from Hacker as Marcus Dunhill approaches 400 passing yards in the game. 4 minutes to go. Oh, crushed. Jay Mart with a TFL. Just the third of the night for Alamo City, but his second.
Yeah, Jay Mart's clearly the headliner on the defense for Alamo City tonight. He's all over the place.
So 2nd and long after Mart's heroic play. He comes in on a blitz. Dunhill down the field, caught.
Unbelievable.
Down to about the 14-yard line. I think that was Hacker again. And now Fort Worth's going no huddle because they don't know how many opportunities they're going to have at this play fake. Dunhill, end zone, knocked away. Pass
dangerous.
knocked down by Bogey Barr will bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, dodged the bullet on that one. He threw it right into the hen house, and I'm surprised I'm surprised that hit the ground. I'm still flabbergasted.
If you go for 2, and I understand they're no huddle, if you go for 2 and you don't get it, you definitely want to score that touchdown on this side of the 2-minute warning. But that time, Fort Worth's offense, a little scatterbrained, nearly threw it away. Dunhill's pass is caught down to the 3-yard line. That is Minson lining up in the slot. They mark him short of the first down. That's key. 3rd down and inches. Dunhill to throw. Hit as he threw. Incomplete. Looking for Minson in the end zone. Now it's 4th and inches. And what do you do, Charles? Because a field goal would take the 2-point conversion off the board.
Now let's see if the quarterback sneak works on this play. But I wouldn't have stayed in hurry up. I mean, they're in striking distance. It's a key down.
Yeah.
They had plenty of time. I don't know why they had to hurry through that.
Let's see. They are going to go for it. And it looks like Dunhill's out of the shotgun there. So no sneak here. 4th and inches for Fort Worth on the 3. 3:16 left. Dunhill, quick throw. It is knocked away and incomplete.
Wow.
And Alamo City will take over with 3:13 to play.
Oh man, there are going to be some people scratching their heads on that one. I mean,
that's rough.
They've not many. They could have done a sneak there. They have been able to stop Dunhill, and line up in shotgun. That was just very aggressive.
Week 14, you have to flash back. Fort Worth gets a stop on a 2-point conversion, and Alamo City just got a stop on the 3-yard line on 4th and inches. Up 8 now, trying to bleed the clock. Handoff, Brad Jones, and he's going to lose half a yard, back to about the 2.5, as Luther Gahn and Jerry D. Gahn having a conversation about it. 3 minutes and counting.
Yep, clock's not Fort Worth's friend at this point. And let's see how conservative Alamo City stays, even if they get into a 3rd down. I at this point, the way Jones has been running all night, there's no reason for them to do any passing from this point forward.
This is the last play they have to run before the 2-minute warning. If Fort Worth were to get a safety, they would make it a 6-point game and get the ball back. Going in motion is Troll. Got to get set. Can't take a delay of game here. That would back you up. Down to 1. Just does get set. Handoff range Storm. Storm cuts it back inside, and Storm gets them safely out to the 9-yard line. A critical 3rd down coming up on the other side of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that was a big run. I mean, it wasn't very flashy, but it got them out of the danger zone. They don't want to be stuck too deep, especially if they have to punt.
Fort Worth was 2 for 2 on 4th down last season, so that is their first failed 4th down conversion in the 4K23 era, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. I wanted a game that wouldn't stretch my voice. I did not get my wish. What a ball game tonight. Alamo City 29, Fort Worth 21. This is it, Charles, for all the marbles.
This is for all the marbles. Like you said, this has been a fantastic game.
And what a way to start the Monday night spectacular schedule. here in season 22. Next week, we're in Baltimore for Seattle at Baltimore. Handoff, Jones on third down. Didn't get it. Fort Worth, timeout, and they'll get the ball back.
Huge tackle. Wow, huge tackle. Plenty of time here, Cam. Roll up your sleeves, my friend.
Oh, is Alamo City's going for it. They're trying to ice the game right now. Are you kidding me?
Holy smokes.
At their own 13-yard line.
Holy smokes.
4th and short. Handoff, first down. Oh, my goodness. Brad Jones. Timeout, Fort Worth. That took some onions.
Some very large onions. Large ripe onions, my friend. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. So deep in your own territory. 4th down, ahead. Man.
At your own 12 to close it out. That is crazy. Handoff to Jones. He's going to lose a yard. Smacked down by an angry J.L. Browning. But Fort Worth is done with timeouts. So Alamo City's going to get to drain at least a minute 20 of this, a minute 47 left off the clock.
Holy smokes.
Man, oh man.
Woo.
Handoff, Jones to the 20, and now it's a waiting game on 3rd down and 8. Do they try and throw it, Charles, and just end the game?
I'm going to be completely sorry. I don't mean to talk over you, but I don't know what to expect from Alamo City at this point. They're going to line up with 5 wide.
I'm with you. My goodness. Look at this stat. Total yards.
Oh my.
There's the passing yards, 402. Total yards, 449 to 431. 3rd down and 8 for Alamo City. 106 left. They run a counter. Rainstorm, not much, but it did run a lot of time off the clock. That was well-designed little trickery on 3rd down. And Fort Worth's going to get one last shot.
Unless they go for it.
They went for it on 4th and 7. That would be insane. Yeah, Seattle-Baltimore next week on Monday night. That should be a great one, Charles. Seattle pulls out a 1-point win on the road. Baltimore fell by 6 points at home. 2 pretty good teams by all accounts.
We could have another match like we had tonight.
28 seconds. Fort Worth has a little bit of room from the 37-yard line up to the 45.
So
Go ahead, Charles.
I'm going to answer your question. You asked me the weirdest thing I've seen doing games with you. So when we did this, one of the playoff games, Seattle versus Alaska, and there was 30 seconds on the clock. And you said, that's not enough time to score. Remember that one?
I do. And then they dethroned the dynasty. That was crazy. We called that game in person.
Goal.
We called Seattle and Alaska in person, Charles? Was that us?
We did.
Man, that was a great game. Here we go. Can we get another classic here? 22 seconds left. No timeouts for Fort Worth. Dunhill, quick. Caught to the 48. You got to hurry. You got to hurry. Cade Stevens with the catch. 13.
Snap it.
12, and they spike it.
Woo.
Now the question, do you Hail Mary it now? Because
I
don't know.
They have to. I mean, I wouldn't. I'd try and get it to like the 35-yard line if you could on an out route.
If they can get down the field in time.
Yeah.
3rd and 3, we'll see. 12 seconds left. Alamo City trying to close this thing out. Post-game show coming up with Tyler and Curtis at the conclusion of this one. With their first reactions, Dunhill roll out, gotta hurry. Deep down the field, the pass is caught to the 36, down to 6 seconds. They gotta hurry up and get to the line. Down to 3, down to 2, gotta get set. Down to 1, they got it.
No.
They got it. With 35 seconds left, they'll get to throw a Hail Mary.
It's not 0-1, Cam. It's like 0.00025 seconds left. There's no way there's a second left.
What execution!
Holy smokes.
What execution! Now Dunhill can take a shot to the end zone. With 1 second left, Dunhill deep, throws it and overshot his receiver, stood no chance, and Alamo City holds on. He didn't get any air on that ball, must have been facing some pressure. Wow. Alamo City wins 29-21, and Fort Worth has lost their first regular season game in the 4K23 era. What a stunner, Charles. Your thoughts?
I mean, on the offensive side of Alamo City, they had a perfect game. No mistakes, no fumbles, no interceptions. Ace Fennick just put on a clinic back there, over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 100-plus QBR. Offensive game ball goes to him. On the defensive side, J-Mart, we said this all night, was all over the place, set the tone at the beginning of the second half with that interception on the first series of Alamo. And, I mean, golly, 2 interceptions, 9 tackles, led the league in both. Led the team in both. Unbelievable, well-called game by Alamo City. Fort Worth hung in there. It's just, this was a prize fighter fight tonight. We said that coming in. And, Fort Worth hung in there to the last second. But if you don't make mistakes, it's hard to lose.
I don't think I've ever seen 880 yards of offense, 896 yards of offense, and neither team score over 30. Alamo City wins the turnover battle 4-0, and they win the game, not by much. 29-21 over Fort Worth. Thank you, Charles. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Rochelle, Zach, and Bismarck Wright in the stat truck. What a night. Tyler Curtis, wrap it up for us. Woo! What a game. Alamo City holds on.
Man, oh man, what a way to finish a game like that with the longest 1 second spike I have probably ever seen. Chris Curtis, Tyler Falk with you in the 8 p.m. Music post-game show. 29-21 ACA takes the win over Fort Worth. And Tyler, let's get your instant reactions from a game that was really, the second half was a wild one.
We ended Monday Night Spectaculars with these 2 teams, and it lived up to the hype. We start season 2 with the same 2 teams that finished off, and it lived up to the billing again. What a solid start to the season for Monday Night Spectacular. A solid game for Alamo City and Fort Worth. Unfortunately, the Toros, it will not be a perfect season this time around. The Alamo City Artillery get their revenge, and they get one over Fort Worth, and they will start the season 1-0. They defend at the Alamo to the last man, and they come out with a victory on a almost Hail Mary. A fantastic game all around. The guts, the cojones, the swagger of Alamo City to go for it, 4th and short, inside your own 20-yard line was clearly the difference maker. I have to give it to Greg Soto. I have to give this one to Bogey Barr and the rest of the crew over now in Alamo City and San Antonio. That is the play that's going to define week 1 and really put an exclamation point on just a fantastic game played by both clubs.
Yeah, it really was a fantastic game called, fantastic game executed, and just a lot of fun to watch. Vin Calia, your offensive player of the game. I think that speaks to how good he was in the first half and in the second half as well. He was decent in the second half when he was needed. But going back to that 4th down at their own 13-yard line, Alamo City has a chance to put this game away. And they decide, you know what? We're up by 8 points. Even if we fail this, the best they can do is a touchdown in the 2-point conversion. We have 2 chances to stop them. That still was like next level logic from me from a football standpoint. That was really, really good and really fun to watch. Glad they got it, otherwise there'd be some questions. But either way, it was I thought for sure we were going to see a 4th down sneak from Marcus Dunhill. as well. So I mean, what were you thinking the same thing? The sneak and where was your reaction when you saw them line up at their own 13?
The difference between those two types of philosophies was the confidence in the run game late on the ball game. Only just over 25 yards for J.C. Bacon tonight. Marcus Dunhill was the leading rusher. When you cannot move the football on the ground with your tailbacks, well, you're thinking, all right, we're close. Maybe our quarterback can get the job done, but you don't want him getting hurt. So I don't blame Fort Worth for trying to throw the football in that situation, whereas Alamo City were like, we've got Brad Jones in the backfield, who's had a little bit of troubles, but he's gotten the yards. We have confidence in him. We're to give him the rock and try and get the first down with him in a very pressure cooker situation, and that's the difference. Alamo City had the confidence, Fort Worth did not, and it shows in the final score.
I like it. A lot of fun to be had from Alamo City and Fort Worth tonight. As like you said, the game absolutely lived up to the billing in week 1 of season 22. There is more to come this season 22, week 2 of the Monday Night Spectacular, taking place from Baltimore, Maryland. The Seattle Nemesis traveling to Baltimore to take on the Vultures. That should be a fun one. I should be in house for that, as well as Tyler, I believe. And we will see you guys at that point. But week 2, just a few short days away. Stay safe until then. We will see you. This is the end of the Monday Night Spectacular for week number 1. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Have a good night. Have a good week, everybody. We will see you Friday for more.